Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yes, I am that weird. This is we're at my kitchen table where I do some of these, and this is a portable squat stand that you've seen in my outdoor videos. It is sitting at the head of our kitchen table because my wife is very patient, I guess. I'm a little weird. I don't want to walk it downstairs or leave it outside, but it's right here. I guess speaking of mistakes that you could possibly make, like leaving a squat stand in the middle of your kitchen table or living room, I want to talk about some training mistakes I've made. I get questions, and one of the questions we asked to our community out there was, what do you guys want to hear? And you guys want to hear some of my biggest training mistakes. Now, there's too many to do in a single video, right? So I can't just make one video as I fix my microphone here. One video that has all the training mistakes in it. So I'll talk about one that recently came up. Losing sight of your goals. So one of the biggest training mistakes I make is getting almost like a FOMO, a fear of missing out, when it comes to training and making progress and excessive amounts of, I guess almost like a training carousel it would be, excessive amounts of rotation of exercises and non-directed stimuli. So let me give you an example. I wanted to and still do want to jump higher. I want to jump high. And my goal, as you guys know in this little video podcast thing, whatever you want to call this, is to track some of that and talk about my journey doing it. Well, I ended up getting a mild injury and I got sick, but long story short, I kind of got distracted and I was like really into squatting for like a month. I don't know why I did this, but I got really excited and wanted to squat a lot. And I got better at squatting. I eventually kind of squatted 470-ish, and one of my goals is to squat 500, but not at the expense of my other goals. And that was the issue, was the expense. I started squatting a lot more. I squatted at 470-ish, but I didn't jump any higher. My jump height went down. It got worse. Why? Well, we can dive into that to another time, but basically I spent so much time squatting and so much effort squatting, wasn't jumping enough. And you could also debate, does even getting stronger beyond, what my body weight to strength ratio is even really going to be that beneficial for jumping? So my biggest mistake is that of losing sight of my actual training goals. If my goal is to jump higher and I can track that progress, it's focusing on jumping higher. Let's do that. And I do that all the time. It's a huge mistake of mine, whether it's like a program ADD almost, where you're doing a program, you're making progress, then all of a sudden you just want to change something because you had a little bit of a hiccup here or there and you lose sight of your goals, and you don't look at your gains in the right time frame. You think like, oh, I want to make progress this week, and so you start changing things up and you start throwing things at the board left and right in hopes that it might stick, and you don't actually make any of the gains. And so my biggest training mistake, and the training mistake I see made quite a bit, is lack of patience and losing sight of your goals. And so a way that we can avoid this mistake is, one, you can keep a little journal of what your goals are, a training log, but also you can actually keep track of your performance. Now what happens with me is, like, I start to make these slight deviations. So I wanted to jump high. And then I wanted to have this bar move at a faster velocity, a certain weight. And then I wanted to move 365 pounds at 1 meter a second. And then I wanted to squat 470. Now, maybe doing this slight deviation to focus on this other quality, like moving this lighter weight faster, could work in parallel with my main objective of jumping higher. But then I kept taking deviations to a point where I turned back around and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so far from my original goal. And then I get mad I'm not making progress on my original goal. And so at the end of the day, one of the biggest mistakes people make is losing sight of their goal. And probably that has a lot to do with not really tracking your goal. And then being honest with yourself that it is a training process and you're not going to make immediate progress right away. And so we should take our time, have patience, and understand that, we need to look at our progress in terms of not just day to day, week to week, but month to month. So that's my biggest training mistake. I make a ton. So I appreciate you guys listening. If you have comments or questions, please let me know. And I hope you all enjoy.